Sarissa's position detection system determines spatial coordinates with millimeter accuracy for quality assurance. The Sarissa position receiver, the tool transmitter, and the PositionBox software communicate with each other and provide the operator with reliable feedback in real time. Applications in which the correct position of an individual part is to be determined can be secured with the PositionBox. This functionality is used, for example, when placing bearing shells so that each bearing shell finds its correct position. The bearing bracket was measured beforehand, and on the basis of this data, the suitable bearing shells with the correct thickness for the respective place in the bearing bracket were determined. The worker now places the bearing shells at the designated places in the bearing bracket. He then scans the data matrix code printed on the bearing shell with the code reader. Based on the code and after communication with the user's PLC, the PositionBox determines whether the correct bearing shells are at the intended mounting position. If a bearing shell is accidentally mounted in the wrong position, the motor block is prevented from leaving the workstation. The error is visualized on the screen and the worker can easily correct the work step. The software confirms that all upper bearing shells have been mounted correctly. The crankcase moves on a workpiece carrier to Assembly Station 2, where the lower bearing shells are mounted. The bearing shells are placed in an assembly template. Again, the codes are scanned in and the positions of the bearing shells are checked by the PositionBox. Although the tool transmitter is located on the code reader, the Sarissa system always determines the position of the code and therefore of the bearing shell, and not the position of the code reader. All bearing shells have been mounted in the correct position. The operator then fastens the bearing shells in the crankshaft bearing cover. The assembly step is carried out without errors with the support of Sarissa's PositionBox.